Hey, everyone, have you ever seen someone who's really bad at something, but they act like they're a total expert? Or maybe, on the flip side, you've met someone incredibly skilled who constantly downplays their own abilities. If so, you've witnessed the Dunning-Kruger Effect in action. This fascinating psychological phenomenon explains why people sometimes dramatically misjudge their own competence. What exactly is the Dunning-Kruger Effect? The Dunning-Kruger Effect is a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their own ability, while people with high ability at a task underestimate their own ability. It's named after psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, who first described it in 1999. Their research showed that incompetent individuals often lack the metacognitive ability, the skill to think about one's own thinking, to recognize their own mistakes, or lack of skill. They simply don't know enough to know what they don't know. This leads to inflated confidence. This can lead to them thinking they're not as special or skilled as they actually are. Highly competent individuals, on the other hand, tend to underestimate their abilities, assuming that tasks easy for them are also easy for others. Think of it as a mountain of knowledge. The expert is at the peak, looking down and seeing all the other peaks, what others know, and all the valleys, what they still need to learn, making them feel like there's still so much more to conquer. When pressed to explain them in detail, we quickly realize the gaps in our knowledge. The incompetent person is at the very bottom, looking up and thinking they are already at the peak because they can't see how vast the mountain truly is. Why does our brain do this? They don't realize their understanding is actually quite rare or advanced. This effect comes from a few key psychological factors. 1. Lack of metacognition. For the incompetent, if you don't even understand the basics, you can't properly evaluate your own mistakes or the complexity of the task. To accurately judge your performance, you need a certain level of skill and knowledge in that area. 2. Illusion of explanatory depth. We often think we understand complex things better than we actually do, because all their colleagues are also highly skilled, failing to see how far ahead they are compared to the general population. 3. False consensus effect. For the competent, those who are truly dangerous drivers are often the least likely to recognize their own flaws. Experts sometimes assume that if something is easy for them, it must be easy for everyone else too. Whereas a highly qualified candidate might express more humility and acknowledge areas for growth. Real-life examples. Once you're aware of it, you'll spot the Dunning-Kruger effect everywhere. 1. The overconfident beginner. Someone who just started playing a musical instrument, coding, or learning a new language might quickly declare themselves proficient or even an expert after a few lessons, unaware of the vast complexity they've yet to grasp. 2. The know-it-all in a discussion. In online forums or group discussions, individuals with very limited knowledge on a complex topic like economics, politics, or science might argue their points with extreme confidence, dismissing actual experts. 3. The underrated expert. Be open to hearing what you don't want to hear. A brilliant software engineer might think their coding skills are just average for driving ability. Many studies show that a significant majority of drivers rate themselves as above average, which is statistically impossible. 5. Job interviews. Someone with minimal experience applying for a senior role might genuinely believe they're the perfect fit. How to navigate the Dunning-Kruger effect. Understanding this bias is crucial for both personal growth and interacting with others. If you suspect you're on the overconfident side, 1. Seek honest feedback. Actively ask for constructive criticism from people you trust and respect. By being aware of this bias, we can strive for more accurate self-assessment, foster continuous learning, and build a more realistic understanding of our own abilities and those of others. So, next time you encounter an expert or doubt your own significant skills, remember the invisible forces of Dunning and Kruger at play. 2. Keep learning. The more you learn about a subject, the more you realize how much you don't know. This humility is a sign of true growth. 3. Test your knowledge. Don't just absorb information. Try to apply it, teach it, or solve problems with it. This quickly reveals gaps in understanding. 4. Listen more than you speak in discussions. Prioritize listening to others' perspectives, especially those with more experience. If you suspect you're on the underconfident side, 1. Seek external validation. Sometimes, you need others to point out your strengths. Listen when people praise your abilities. 2. Compare yourself realistically instead of comparing yourself only to the very top experts. Consider your skills relative to a broader group. 3. Track your achievements. Keep a record of your successes and positive feedback. This can be a concrete reminder of your competence. The Dunning-Kruger Effect teaches us that true wisdom often comes with humility, and a little bit of knowledge can be a dangerous thing, especially when it inflates our sense of self.